want to tell you a little story. Once upon a time, there was a spammer, and because she was sending out spam, her IP address got blocked. So guess what she did? She went out and got a new IP address. And guess what she did with it? That's right, she started sending out more spam. And guess what the inbox providers and ISPs did? Yep, they blocked that IP address too. Wouldn't you? Now let us tell you another little story. Once upon a time there was an email marketer. And even though his mailing lists were all opt-in, his mailings generated a lot of complaints, and so his IP address got blocked. So guess what he did? He went out and got a new IP address. And guess what he did with it? That's right, he started sending out the same email to the same mailing lists and generating the same complaints. And guess what the ISPs and inbox providers did? Yep, they blocked that IP address too. Okay, one last story. Once upon a time, there was another email marketer, and because his business was doing so well, his email system was maxed out, and he needed more capacity to be able to send out his mailings to his completely legitimate, confirmed double opt-in email lists that generated no complaints. So guess what he did? He went out and got a new IP address. And guess what he did with it? That's right, he started sending out his mailings to his completely legitimate confirmed double opt-in email lists that generated no complaints. And guess what the inbox providers did? Yep, they blocked that IP address too. Because you see, to the inbox providers and ISPs and spam filters, each of those sets of email were indistinguishable. In each instance, what the ISPs and inbox providers and spam filters see is a brand new IP address suddenly spewing massive amounts of bulk email. So they block it. If you don't want this to happen to you, then you need to plan ahead when you bring a new IP address online and let it gradually build up a reputation for itself over the course of a few weeks. Start out small, sending transactional one-to-one email and maybe the occasional small bulk mailing. Work up to sending larger mailings with more frequency. Of course, this doesn't mean change the frequency of your mailings. Just have already established IP addresses sending them while you are bringing the new IP address online. You can see our recommended IP address warm-up schedule at our site at gettotheinbox.com. With a little forethought and planning, you can avoid this painful and costly mistake that legitimate email senders all too often make. By the way, did you find the use of the pronouns she and her incongruent or even jarring when talking about a spammer? Most people think of spammers as being men, but there are plenty of female spammers too. Spamming is an equal opportunity crime.